What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. This offer ends in about 6 days from the time you're watching this video. Anyways, now let's talk about the markets. So I just wanted to say, guys, that I have this big family emergency that's going on right now. One of my uncles has fallen ill, so I'm actually going to be unavailable to record videos on Saturday and Sunday. And this video is being pre-recorded on Friday night. So this means that I can't really account for every piece of news that's coming out. And I do want to give you guys an apology about that. I might not be able to account for anything else that comes out. That's why it's very important to know the bullish and bearish cases. And I'm going to be very unbiased when I talk about what could end up happening to these charts. So please know that this video may not be entirely sufficient, but I still want to talk about what charts are suggesting is the most likely possibility, just to give you guys some insights of what to watch for, at least going into Monday. Anyways, let's talk about how this is looking. Right now, the market is continuing to climb as we're seeing a lot of bulls stepping in. And these imbalances do increase the odds of the market pushing a little bit higher. As of right now, we do look more bullish and we could continue higher, but I would still be very careful as we approach particular resistance levels because of what we're seeing on the chart. Now, I'll talk about this in just a minute. As a reminder, for Monday, it's going to be November 25th, 2024. At 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index report, not to mention the 3 and 6 month bill auctions at 11:30 a.m. Then we have a couple of notes and bill auctions later on at 1 p.m., and that's pretty much it. Besides that, we just have a bunch of manufacturing numbers that are coming out and FOMC minutes on Tuesday. And we have lots of data coming out for Wednesday because of the fact that there's no data releases on Thursday or Friday because of the holiday season. So for tomorrow, look for some volatility. Not tomorrow, for Monday, look for some volatility at 11:30 a.m. once this data is out. For Thanksgiving, as a reminder, just know that Thanksgiving is going to be on Thursday and the stock market is going to be closed. And then for Friday, it's going to be Black Friday. The stock market closes early at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's only going to be half a day, so just keep that in mind. Besides that, these are going to be the earnings to watch for. On Monday, we have Bath and Body Works, and then we have Zoom after market close, and that's pretty much it. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to be unbiased and talk about some levels to watch for the markets, and I will break down what the chart is suggesting is more probable. Once again, guys, I can't account for every piece of news that comes out over the weekend because of my situation, but I'll try my best to be unbiased. So, for SPY, if we're bearish, just hypothetically, you're going to be watching this 594 area. It's about 593.8. If that fails us, we're looking for almost a 2-point dip to 592.35. And if that fails us, we have 590.5 as the main support. We need to lose 590.5 to turn more bearish to be looking down for these lows down here, so keep that in mind. And to remain bullish, you want to see this continue to push for and hold above 596. As long as we're above 596, we're going to be favoring 598 up here, which is where we have this like shop zone. I think there's a lot of liquidity up here, which the market's going to be looking for, and we do favor the upside right now. Now, although there is a rising wedge-like structure, they don't always pan out, but just know this does suggest that we're going to likely continue to push because there's no confirmation of some kind of rejection on SPY, as the 4-hour looks more bullish. Not to mention the fact that the weekly, if you look at the weekly time frame, this is quite strong right now. So this does suggest more upside is likely coming. So in my personal opinion, just know this. Watch the supports I called it and the resistance levels to be safe, but know the chart does favor upside because if you look at SPY for the last couple of days, we formed these wicks here. We came down in the morning, then bounced, came down in the morning, then bounced, came down and bounced. Every drop has been followed by a nice pump, so the bulls have a bigger edge in the market. This suggests to me that SPY will most likely attempt to push for 598 as soon as Monday. Then we'll see how it reacts to that, as we do have a tough resistance up there. Look for an attempt to push for 598, and then we'll see what the reaction happens to be. As of right now, the charts do favor more upside. For ES, I just wanted to say that if you want to turn bearish on ES, we need to see this first off lose 59.80, then 59.50. If we lose 59.50, this could be dipping all the way down to the lower 59.20 area. As long as we're bullish, we're going to be looking for 6,000 as resistance. If that breaks, we're looking for 6,020. I presume the most likely case for ES is we're forming a nice cup over here, so this does favor upside a bit more, especially as we're forming wicks like this and we're just continuing to get bought back up. So this is suggesting that upside is more probable for 6,000 plus, all the way up to about 6,020 as the most likely possibility. But watch your supports just to be safe. As far as Nvidia goes, we have this liquidity grab up here that formed, which does suggest downside is a stronger possibility. We might attempt to rebound a bit on Monday, but then watch for this resistance at 144. If we don't reclaim 144, it might kind of pop a little bit and start dipping a little bit lower. We might try to grab liquidity around 140 to 138 before we try to bounce. So just keep that in mind, guys, that there is a bearish divergence on Nvidia after this pump that happened after earnings. And this does suggest that there could be more downside coming. So we may pop all the way up to about 142.5 to 144 on Monday, then start dropping a little bit lower to 140 as the most likely possibility. We'll see depending on the charts and the news, so just keep that in mind. If we do hit 138 to 140, we could still bounce. As of right now, Bitcoin is consolidating. We're going to try to hit that 100,000 area. We'll see if we reject or not. Keep in mind, 100,000 is going to be a very, very big psychological level for profit taking. So keep that in mind. Tesla, as long as we don't lose 340, we remain more bullish. If 340 fails us, we do have a risk of more downside. We also have 350 as the main support to watch for. As long as we're above that, we also favor upside. I presume that Tesla could be retesting 350 and consolidate for a bit before it starts to shoot higher. And we're looking for 362.5 as our potential targets, and eventually 370. Overall, there's a nice inverse head and shoulder setup, and we're riding above our 20 EMA very nicely. We formed a very, very nice pennant in Tesla, and we're breaking out right now. So this is looking more bullish to me. For NQ, we're on a very, very nice accumulation like structure that formed here off the bullish divergence, and we look more bullish. This looks like it could be trying to get closer to 21,000. That's the most likely possibility, as long as you don't lose 20,800. If 20,800 ends up breaking, that's very close to our 20 EMA. There is a risk of us coming back down to 20,650. If we continue this push we're on, we're looking for 20,900. If that breaks, I think we easily go up to about 21,000. I would say right now NQ is bullish because we had a low here, made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low over and over again. And we favor getting closer to 21,000. For the QQQ, the triple Q looks more bullish because of the fact that we're getting a nice accumulation. If we lose 503.5, we're looking for a dip back down to 500 flats. And as long as we're above 503, we're favoring a push higher. So look at 506 as the main resistance. If that breaks, we're going to likely attempt to fill this gap. We're getting closer. I think we could be looking for 508.75 for a little bit more upside, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get after that. But as of right now, the chart looks a little bit more bullish, so look for a bit more upside for the QQQ before we get a reaction as the most likely possibility. Apple is strong on the daily, as you could see, and also on the 4-hour, we're looking quite strong. As long as we don't lose support, we have 3 supports to watch for. They're very simple. We have 228.43. If that fails, look at 227.5, 226.5 below that. If that fails, we dip all the way down to the 224s. The chart's upside, it's favoring upside. It's a little choppy, but it is trying to make its way up to about 230. If we manage to break that, we're looking for 232. As of right now, we look a bit more bullish, in my opinion. For Netflix is on a very, very nice trend. We're kind of consolidating around this 900 area, so give this some time to develop. If we lose 890, we could be dipping a little bit lower, but I think we're just going to consolidate, so give this some time to develop. From MSTR, we got this big rejection right here. We came back up. Now, we are rejecting a bit. We have to see if we could hold 420. If 420 fails for this, we're going to be dipping back down towards the 380s. There's going to be rejection from a high here coming down to make a lower high during the back test, and a rejection if 420 fails us. If 420 holds, we could push for 450. To me, it looks like it might attempt to push here, but I do see some weakness building, especially if Bitcoin gets a bit of a dip after if it hits 100,000, we do get a small dip from there. That could cause MSTR to dip as well. So be careful. We'll have to see if you hold 420 or not. That's going to be your confirmation of if we get a bounce or not. So just keep that in mind. For Celsius, this looks more bullish. It's heading for that 30 target. It might go a little bit higher. So as long as we don't lose 28, we're favoring a move back up to 30 as the most likely possibility. For Supermicro, we look more bullish. As long as we don't lose the support right here around 30.8, the chart is favoring 35 to 37 in that range for more upside. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders, and we could be pushing for 35 plus to higher levels. For Palantir, we look more bullish. We're trying to hold up now. Now, Palantir has a very, very interesting range. This was a head and shoulders, but this could be a trap sometimes. So I said to watch and see if we lose 60 to turn more bearish. If 60 fails us, we're looking for 58 and 56. But as long as we're above 63, we favor upside. As long as 63 does not break, we could continue to uptrend and make our way back up for 66. So overall, the chart looks more bullish. Rivian is looking decent, might try to test 10.36 before it tries to push for 10.5. The SoFi looks more bullish. As long as we don't lose 14.78 and 15, this is favoring 16 very, very soon. So it does look more bullish, like it wants to push higher. The IWM Russell 2000 looks more bullish as well. We could be looking for 240 as our potential target. If that breaks, we're looking for 242. So keep that in mind as we look more bullish. For AMD, as long as AMD does not lose 136, we're favoring 140 is our potential target. So if 138.31 breaks, we're looking for 140.95. For ARM, we're looking more bullish. If we break past 136, we're looking for an attempt to get back up for 138. We'll have to see if we break that or not. It depends on 136. If we break that, we push for 138. If not, we could dip to 133 before it tries to bounce again. So look for a big test on Monday just to see what kind of reaction we get. Coin is going to be trying to test 307. Might push a little bit more. If we reject off 307, we go back down to 290. If we break this, we're looking for 320 as our potential target. Overall, it's doing a good job. Amazon's a little bit weaker. We need to reclaim 200. If not, it's on a bit of a downtrend. We had a high here, came down, we had a lower high and came down. So there is a risk of this dipping closer to about 196 again, then 194 if that fails. For Meta's on a bit of a downtrend. We have to see if we can reclaim 565. Otherwise, we're at risk of dipping to about 550. So give this some time to develop. Microsoft's on a bit of a downtrend. We need to reclaim 420 to turn back up. Otherwise, we could be testing this resistance before it tries to reject. We pumped here, rejected, pumped here, rejected, pumped here, rejected. So be careful at 418 to 420. We could get a rejection as well. So we'll see about that. Google's on a bit of a downtrend as well. We need to try to reclaim 168. Otherwise, this could be dipping closer to about 165. So give this more time to develop. The last thing I wanted to call out is the VIX. The VIX is on a bit of a downtrend here. It needs to try to get back above 17.72 if there's some kind of major bad news. Otherwise, it favors a move back down to fill this gap towards 14.32, which would be because of the market potentially pushing higher. So I think that the market is favoring upside more. We look more bullish. We'll see what news comes out. I'm sorry I can't really account for that. I'm recording this early on. So with that being said, I made this video very quick and simple just to give you guys some insights of what to watch for on Monday and some very, very key levels. So watch those key levels very closely, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. I thank you all so much for your attentions. I'll be back on Monday. Everything will be back to normal starting Monday. So just keep that in mind. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all so much for listening once again, and peace out.